Alright, let's get started. Where's my screen? Sorry, it's been a little while. There we go. How is the audio? It's really loud for me. I'm just going to turn it right down. I'm just going to move this a little bit closer, make sure I haven't accidentally muted myself. So yeah, hopefully everyone's going well. I decided to take an extra week and a little bit off just to do a little bit more repairing. Essentially, I was exhausted by the end of the days. And yeah, I'm back. We also have Socks here. There she is. She's been a bit meowy today, so hopefully she will speak up and demand treats a little bit later. So yeah, let's jump straight into it. Yeah, that'll do. Cool. So, we're in the wraps of 0.31 branch. So what does that mean? I'm wrapping up the branch at the moment. So I did a little blog on this. So yeah, what we wanted to do was go through as many bugs as possible, fix them all up. We also want to essentially finish off any sort of required testing, documentation, and all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, yeah. Now the one thing I wasn't able to do last month, and I know last month was well over a week ago, was I couldn't get the GDPR wizard testing done. The reason being is I just ran out of time, really. Playing with the camera, make sure it's all focused. Yeah, so I was hoping to get that done. We just couldn't. So yeah, today we'll be actually doing that. So I'm going to log in to phpMyAdmin. Ooh. All right. Hang on. That's probably part of my services stopped running. It should be running. Partially running. There we go, that one's not running. No problem, we can spin up a another instance or something like that. So I'm just going to stop that. That's perfectly fine. We'll close. Oops. I'm just going to hit stop. We're going to hit containers. We're just going to minimize. How is that button? That was weird. So it's because I had MariaDB running on that one, and then that. All right, I'm just going to hit play again. I think it's running now. Gonna log. Oh, there we go. So I think I just had something running, and Panissa Faro Africa. Hello. What happened? Bike accident again? Repairing for the bike accident that happened a while ago. So it's a good surgery. Essentially, I decided to get it repaired finally. Yeah. So I'm only in the sling for not that much longer, which is good. I've got some movement. There's no pain anymore, which is great. So yeah, it's coming up Millhouse. So yeah, how are you going, Panica? Hopefully you're going well. And Project Black, welcome back. So yeah, today we're gonna pretty much use this to build up a database. I'm going to fill up that database with seed data, and we're going to create a fixture from it. You're okay? Just working from home? Oh, nice. So yeah. All right. So I'm just going to create a random user. We're just going to go. I'm just going to click home. I'm going to go to user accounts. Make sure. I've got one for NearBeach already. Do we have a NearBeach database? We do already. I am just wondering how much stuff is in here already. We might just... So it's got the basic sort of groups. It's got the basic sort of documents. This might be just the fixture data. Yeah. All right. I don't remember the password, so I'm going to create a new user. I'm going to call it, let's call it fixture. And we're just going to use a basic let's just generate a random password. It doesn't matter that you guys are seeing this. This is once again just a local testing environment and stuff like that. And the Bob, I know, how are you going? And thank you very much, Panika. Yeah, I will. The pain's gone now. I'm sleeping a lot better than I was. So yeah, I want to make an online tax filling website. Our taxes here are a PDF that you're supposed to fill in Adobe Acrobat, which is absolutely terrible program. Oh, fair enough. That does sound very, very helpful. So yeah, that'll be pretty cool. All right, so I'm just gonna copy this. Yeah, oh yeah, we put it there. And we are going to create a database with the same name, grant all privileges. That's perfectly fine. We don't need as much as that. I'm just gonna hit go. We're not going to save any of that. That should have created that. Easily done. And yep, sweet. So what I want to do is Django MySQL. I need to double check all the... I'm going to cheat with this. I need... Which are the options I need? So I need the engine to be that. And then I need those options. Okay, easy done. So I'm just gonna bump over to here. Ooh, I should, before I do anything, I should git status. All right, git pull, just in case I have any changes. I'm gonna deny that. And then git branch. So we're on the develop branch, that's perfectly fine. Sorry, I just forgot what I wanted to type. So I'm all happy with that. We just need to get this data into the local settings. This is just temporary sort of stuff. So if we jump into here, we should see the database engine over here. We need to change that to MySQL. We need to get rid of that. Now I'm going to cheat. Because we port this stuff through. So I'm just going to go to Ocean Suite. I'm going to go to Settings. I'm just going to search for the database. It should be up here. That's the templates. All right. There we go. Sorry, I can't see past socks at the moment. Thank you, socks. I'm just going to copy this. I'm not doing this properly. The reason being is this is going to be quick and nasty. This is just to get the fixture up and running. So, yeah. In this sort of case, we're going to get rid of this. We know it is going to be MySQL. That's done. So if we have a look at the documentation, yeah, just Django DB backends, MySQL. And then we just need to fill out this data, which the host will be, I think, local host 3306. Oh. I'll double check that. So I'll bump over here. Yeah, we've got this HTTP localhost. All right, that is saying localhost there. So fingers crossed it is localhost. Otherwise, I'll change it to 127.1.0.0.1. The port will be 3306. The name will be fixture. The user will also be fixture. And the password will be that password, which I'll just get again. That is like that. Once again, I'm not worried about that. I will probably destroy this database and user in a minute. And once again, this is just my local Docker testing and stuff like that. So we've got all that set up. If I were to go to the terminal, I want to go source VM bin activate. We're going to run Python 3 manage migrate. Now, can't load connection to MySQL server through the socket. Oh, I might need to install something. There we go. I just needed the 127 address, not localhost. Perfectly fine. All right, this just takes a little while. There we go. So we should be able to run this now. So if we go into debug mode, I don't know what these package resource is deprecated as an API. See. All right, that is a problem for later. Just let me make sure it doesn't happen here. So Python manage run server. Warning, this is a development server, do not use it in production. Yep, that's perfectly fine. All right, cool. Yeah, we don't have that warning there. I'm guessing I need to update something in my JetBrains library, and yeah, I've got a very old version of a very, very old version. All right. That's why. Alright, there is a bug with the toolbox. It's not wanting to disappear. I just need to update that. It's not a problem. Oops. There we go. I'm just going to do that. We're going to close that. We're perfectly fine. We are going to go into here. We are going to go... Because we've got everything set up, I'm just going to use this one tab. Hang on, I'm going to hit debug again. So, making mistakes straight away. Alright, jumping onto this, I want to hit the, there it goes. So, and then if we type in the admin, it should create, oh, we didn't create the admin user or anything like that, but that's not a problem. What I want to do is I want to go Python 3 and manage a load data, because I want to actually load a fixture in as a basis for this. And what we want to load in is NearBeach fixture and the basic setup. And there we go. So if we go back to here and we actually hit enter, we can now log in. I know people hate the dark mode, so I am going to go to my profile. I'm just going to do dark mode for you guys. There we go, easy done. So what we need to do with this particular process is we're going to connect a bunch of users. I'm going to do this so you guys can actually see the screen properly. There we go. We're going to connect a bunch of users up to different projects and tasks, and we're going to make them sort of, you know, create those projects and tasks. Within reason, there'll be a couple of read-only users we won't be using to create tasks. That makes sense. But we'll be assigning stuff to people and so on. So, yeah. We'll also create a bunch of organizations. I think about 10 will do, and about 100 customers I think will do. And then I think probably 1,000 of each object, and then assign them randomly. Yeah. So, first things first, I'm going to open up a new tab. We're just going to go CD, and I think we've got the NearBeach seed. All right. Virtual environment, VMs. I'm just going to create a virtual environment, source VM bin. Oh. Bin activate. Then I need to do pip install. I'm going to read the requirements. Oh no. I was silly and I didn't actually write in the requirements file. Did I port over the wrong... That was silly of me. All right, this is where you guys find out I don't know how to spell Jupyter Lab. Okay, install Jupyt. There's no hyphen. There we go. And it's just the Jupyter High. Oh yeah, it's just that. All right, cool. That's probably what's confused me. Whoops. Alright, that should run the Jupyter Lab stuff. We should see both our locus file and our faker. Now, I'm hoping in the next week or so, I'll write a blog. I've done a couple of things. Test-wise, so I've actually set up my NAS to host a VM on it. And on the VM, I've got essentially a database with a lot of data in it. As you can see, there's like 1,000 organizations, 50,000 customers. It's a lot of data. We won't be doing that much today. And from there, what I've done is a bit of load testing. So I've used the locus file to sort of hit my own NAS machine, and I've been able to see essentially approximately how many concurrent users I can have. There's a lot of data I've got to crunch to fully understand what exactly is happening, and I'm hoping to get a couple of blogs posts out there. Alright, so Orojimaru, how are you? Welcome. So a couple of years ago I got hit by a car. I've had shoulder problems ever since, and essentially last month I finally got it fixed. So yeah, I initially had a hook played in for I think a couple of months back in 23, no, earlier, 22, sorry. But that got taken out. However, my AC joint started separating again. So yeah, it's a good surgery. Don't worry about it. I'm not in any pain anymore. I've just got to have this in this for a little bit. It's just tired, really. So yeah, I get out of the sling in a week or two. So yeah. Anyway, welcome. I hope you're going well. All right, so we got this up and running. So, I know I need to install Faker. So I'll go over here, I'll open up another tab. I'll go source the VM bin activate, and then pip install Faker. Easy done. I'm trying to remember what I installed. IPython display, I think it's fine. Import random and PySQL. I think I need to pip install PySQL. Pip install upgrade pip, easy done. There's not going to be a problem. I think I've got everything there. Now, I did say 100 organizations. I'm going to actually say 20 actually, and I'll probably do 150 customers. Yeah, thank you very much. So yeah, it'll be good once it's healed, and I'm looking forward to that. So I'm looking forward to essentially not being in pain. Oh, well, I'm not in pain at the moment. So yeah, once this is off. So yeah, we'll do about 200 with the project count. I'm gonna knock this down to 75. I think 80. Let's go 80, and it's approximately 4 customers. The task count. Let's do 400. Requirement count. Let's actually bump that down to about 40. And then let's just go crazy with the requirement item count. And the Kanban card count, let's not have it that high. Let's have it that. And then there's the group lists. So now I just gotta key in this information. 127.0.0.1. Don't worry about these. This is... I've already forgotten the password and username and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go back over here and just copy and paste. Okay. All right, fixture. There we go. Oh no, the password was this here. And once again, don't worry about this. I'll be destroying the database later. There we go. Yep, that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. I could get rid of that one. Oh, could just use. All right. All right. We're running that. Now, we've used the fixture already. So we don't need to run this particular one. Yeah, I don't need to run that one already because that's setting up users and stuff like that. I've already got that data. I'm happy with that. Now, we're just going to create an organization. Ooh. All right. All right. Cool, I need it to skip the first one. So the problem is because I've used the fixture, I've already filled out all of this stuff and it's causing problems. So what I'm going to do, we're just going to do the good old remove and reinstall the database. So I'm going to go home here. We've got the databases here. We're just going to tick this one. We're just going to go bye. And then we're just going to create a new database. And we should just use that as... what are we saying it should be? Give me 2 seconds. Sorry. MB4. Yep. I never know which ones to pick. One day I'll figure it out. I'm just going to keep it that one. We're just going to create a fixture. Boom. We're not going to do much at the moment. We're going to jump over to here. We're just going to go Python 3 manage and migrate again. We're just going to shove everything in there. So it's going through the initialization. All of this shouldn't take too long to do. We're getting more and more migrations every single year. So yeah. All right. I'm going to go over here again. We're going to open up the fixtures. I'm just resetting the data. That's perfectly fine. We'll reset that. Now with this should insert all the data we need. Oh, cryptography package is required. Shell password, location password, auth members. All right, not a problem. Okay, it was something else that that wasn't the problem. All right. Now there should be, and this is why you write a requirements.txt file. If you're ever wondering why, this is a good reason why. Because that way, when you need to reinstall your Python libraries, it's one command and you don't need to think about it. All right, let's try that again. Let's go up. Let's shift enter. Let's shift enter. Cryptography package is required for. We just thought I did that. Oh, all right. Let's have a look. All right, we just need to install this dependency. Do we need to stop Jupyter Lab? I'm just gonna go yes. I'm gonna rerun it. I'm just gonna close this. I'm gonna open up this. We're going to do this. Still not getting the connection. All right. Oh, hold on. Records are inserted successfully. Am I just gone crazy? Yeah, I've just gone crazy. Don't worry. All right. So now it's inserted the organizations. We should now go to this one. It's now inserted that. We should go to this one. We should now insert that very, very quickly. It should now insert that, and it should insert that. And so forth like that. All right. So if I go to NearBeach, we need to log back in. We should still be able to log in with the admin. If I go to the dark mode, oh. And when we find the objects, there we go. All right, cool. Now there is a bug in here that I have actually keyed into our bug tracker. Yeah, I need to fix up the pagination and so forth like that. So that will be happening hopefully very shortly. So yeah, if we go to NearBeach.utrack, waiting for this to load up. I'll just shove this over here. Wait for this to, all right, issues, current issues. As you can see, we should have it in here, pagination. There we go, no pagination, pagination, too many search objects resulted in one pagination. So we're hoping to have all of this fixed up before we start the 032 branch. So yeah, we'll get this fixed up. All right, so good news is this should actually be relatively fast. Yeah. All right, So what do I want to do now is I want to actually edit quite a lot of this data, and we want to be able to add in customers to this. So notice how I don't have any customers added in here. We're going to do that. So we're going to write a little Python script, go through and just add a random amount of customers to each of these particular items. It shouldn't take us too long to do. We should be able to, yeah, we should be able to get it out really, really quickly. So yeah. Oh. Now, in reality, I should have actually done this at the inserting step. I now realize my mistake. So, yep. But that's not a problem. We can fix this up. We should also have a random groups, but we don't have random users added just yet. So that is also something I need to do. I'm not worried too much about the sprints at the moment. Yeah, we don't have users added to these yet. That's another thing I want to actually do. Before I do any of that, I'm out of curiosity, just pure curiosity. If we go Python 3, manage dump data, and what we want indent is going to be 2, format is going to be JSON, and we dump it into our NearBeach fixtures. And now we've got like the basic fixtures and so forth like that. What we're going to be calling this is GDPR setup.json. As you see, it did it really, really quickly. I just want to see how big this file is, because if it's too big, we're going to delete the database and we're going to scale down everything, which is fine. What's cooking today? We are building up a fixture. So the idea being is we've got something we need to test, and we just need a vast amount of data in there. So we're building up a fixture using Faker. The data doesn't need to be perfect in the system. It just needs to show that the functionality works. So yeah. We'll go into NearBeach. We'll go into NearBeach. There it is. We'll need the fixtures, and then we'll have the GDPR set up. Now at 1.9 megabytes, I'm very happy with that size. If it was 10 megabytes, I would be like, yeah, let's pull it back down, but 1.9, that's fine. So instead of going through how many projects did we create, I can close that one now. I can close that one now, and I can close that one now. Instead of going through, so I scroll up to the top, 100 projects, and so forth like that, what we're going to do is we're just going to automate this. So yeah, it's going to be a lot easier. Now, the one problem is, so if we go into here, notice how this is connected to the stakeholder, Daniel Savage. That's meant to be an organization name. Once again, this isn't perfect. We can go down into customers. We've only got a couple of customers that are connected to that organization. And that's by design. So yeah, what I've got to do is when I do this connection, I've got to make sure that, let's say it's this project, I've got to be like, all right, cool. This project has a stakeholder of this. What can their, who can be the customers? So yeah. I got to figure out an easy way to do this very, very quickly. I'm trying to think at the moment, and we've just hit an ad break. For those on YouTube, we run ads on Twitch every half an hour. That's just to stop pre-rolled ads. You guys don't need to worry. Don't worry, you shouldn't be getting ads. So yeah, we just tend to do this. You see me solve with a cube. I have a cat called Socks right there. And yeah, it's about a minute left till we're done. Just gonna quickly solve this. All right. And there we go. Easy done. No, she's a the orange cat behind. All right. This is my current cat, Socks. She's a tuxedo. The orange cat behind me sadly passed away 14 years ago. So yeah, she was my first cat. And she was Eve. Oh, there we go. Yeah, thank you. And we're about 7 seconds of the ads left. Alright, so yeah. Okay. And welcome back, everyone. In that whole time, I didn't think about this problem at all. Which, now I'm coming back and I'm like, I don't know how to solve this. Yeah, she was a great cat, but yeah, sadly passed away. So yeah, I've had many sadly pass away. So alright. Now, if we loop through every single project, which we could potentially do, we could. I'm just wondering if we could do this next in as a query. I don't think we should though. Yeah, I don't think we should. And I'm just wondering, I could potentially do it as a in a Python very, very easily. It'll be a simple for loop. We just go through every single one. But I need to double check which organization the project is connected to, and then I've got to connect it to something else. All right, give me a couple of seconds. I've got a couple of ideas. I don't think they'll pan out. What I want to check is with MySQL, can I actually output each ID as just a string of text. MySQL output ID as list of values. All right. No, not the wrong. Select an ID. We're in. No. Probably not. Is my guess. Probably not. The next thing I could potentially do is I can easily dump every single customer ID and their connection to an organization ID and be able to filter for that, randomize it, and then take a random length. And then that should be fine. So we'll have an object array like this. Filter project for project and project, where we could potentially do that. I mean, it's ugly, but once again, we only just need this to work. We're not going to put this in production or anything like that. We're just going through 100 projects and being like, all right, cool. We've got this organization ID. Let's give it, let's connect it to these particular customers and so forth like that. So we're not doing, yeah, we can get away with really bad code here. So yeah, all right, I'm just going to open up one of these. I am essentially going to copy, scrolling all the way up to the top, sorry, I'm going to copy. Now we know what the group list is and all that. That's fine, I can just copy that one. I'm just going to paste it in there. We're going to get the setup perfect right away. And what I want to do is do that. And then I want to get into here where we're essentially going to do that, but before I do that, I'm going to add in something up here. Well, I'm going to add in some data. So also I'm going to put some more data in here. So I'm just going to go project list equals, we're going to do something like that. And I'm just wondering if I could use, give me a couple of seconds. I just want to play around with something at the moment. So we're going to go Python 3 manage a shell. All right, in here we're going to go a equals. It's going to be, let's say, what's good? ID 1, name 2. That doesn't work because these have got to be in quotation marks, and actually let's say socks. So then we've got something like that. If we do something like this, we've got number 1, and then if we do something like that, we should do that. All right, sweet. I know how I'm going to tackle this now. In the room. Yep, I know how to tackle this. So going over here, we're going to open up the SQL. We're going to go select. For the moment, we are just distinct. We're just going to go project ID. I'm just going to do a star from, this will be NearBeach project, and then we're 1 equals 1, perfectly fine. If we actually run this, where can I run this? Where's the go? Hello, go. Clear format, get. Oh, there's the go. Sorry, I'm blind. As you see, it pulls out everything we kind of want. Now, if I edit inline and I'm like, well, actually, I just want the project ID and I want the organization ID. Easy. And if I do that, well, we've got all that. And I'm like, all right, cool. What if I want to do something silly? And silly we're going to do. And then let's go. In this sort of case, what we want to do is we want to set that up, and then we want to go ID, and then we want to go project ID, and then that's fine like that. We do a comma, and then we go org like that, and then we do that. And then we do something even crazier and go organization ID. And then people are telling me, no, what are you doing? You're crazy. And yes. Alright. I need concat, don't I? No. Alright, give me 2 seconds. MySQL, concat, kinetic strings. Alright. There is a concat function. Alright, cool. Yeah, I've got this wrong. Don't worry. We can fix this up very, very quickly. So, there was that all along. We won't need any of these. And then we're just going to go as output. There you go. That's what I want. And then what I can do, I'll just get rid of all of that. I'll just go get. Now the one problem is, how do I extract all of that from this? Show all. We don't need to filter. There is an export. No, wrong one. Oh, I've just lost the thing. Oh, well, not a problem. We know what to do now. So, select distinct concat. And then we've got project, project ID, organization ID, easy done. From NearBeach project, cool. So I just need to key into here, this one, and then we've got the ID, then that, and then we've got the ID, and then we do that, and then we go org, and then we do that. And then we close it off with a bracket like that. And then we just go, all right, sweet. Show all. Cool. I'm just going to do the good old, let's just copy this. No problem. I'll get rid of that. And then we'll just go copy. And we're like, all right, sweet. Let's go into this. Let's just paste that into here. Let's get rid of all of this. All right. So this is the project list. We are going to go through that whole entire project list. So loop for single project in project list. And we're going to get rid of that. Once again, this is quick and nasty. That's fine, really. Not a problem with quick and nasty, especially when you're just setting up something where it will take you hours to set up, and this will probably take us about an hour. All right, cool. So from here, loop through the projects, easy done. And then what we want to do is get the customers from the project. So what I want to do is we want to do create a function to extract out all the customers for that organization. Then we've got another randomly. Actually, no. Create a function to extract out a random number of the customers for that organization. So we'll get the function to do all of that work. So we'll be like, all right, cool. Give me some customers from, let's say, organization 14. Let's say there's 10 of them. It'll randomly shuffle them around and be like, all right, cool. I'm only going to send you 3. That's what we want. To do loop through the list of customers and add to the object assignment table, which is easy. That just assigns the customer to that particular object. And that's all we need to do. So, got a list of this. We're going to do the same thing with the customers. So we're going to have a customer list up here. It is, once again, going to be an array of objects, which we'll just do right now using a very similar sort of thing here. So we're just going to edit inline. So we've got the ID, and then we'll have the organization ID, and then we'll just have the cusp for customer, and we'll have the customer ID, and this will be done at the NearBeach customer level. And if we go through all of that and we go to show all the numbers. Oh yeah, we didn't have many, not many organizations and customers. I think, yeah, we only had 75. So yeah, there's 75. So I keep forgetting we're not on that. We're actually on this. We're just going to paste this in. And you know one silly thing that I forgot to do? I forgot to put a comma at the end of all of these. So instead of doing it the slow way where I add in all the commas and all that kind of stuff, I'm just going to edit inline. I'm just going to put it right here. I'm going to run this, and I'm going to have to do the same for both of them. So yeah, but as you can see, this is quick and nasty. This ain't going to take us long to do. We've got a goal. We're going to achieve that goal, and it doesn't matter how we get to achieve that goal. Because at the end of the day, no one's actually going to look at this again and be like, oh, all right, we need to make this more efficient, when it doesn't need to be. Okay, cool. So edit inline, we need to go project ID. We've got the org in here, and we'll have the organization ID, and we'll grab this from the project. Easy done. I'm just going to hit play. We're just going to show all. That's perfectly fine. So we've got the project ID, organization ID. Yeah, that's easy done. We're just going to select all of them. We're just going to copy that multiple times. We're going to go into here. We are going to easy. Get rid of this. Done. All right, I'm going to save this as assign customers to objects. Easy done. And what I'll end up doing is, once again, from today, we'll have a look at all of this, see how I've done it, and then sort of apply it to my million rows and so forth like that, and then test like that. I'm hoping, hopefully next stream, I will fill that out even more. So I'll probably delete the data in there and reinstall it and stuff like that, and really fill it out. Because over the next couple of weeks, I will be doing a lot of bug testing, and I want to actually see how NearBeach handles with a lot of data in it. So yeah. Going into this, so we've got our customer list. What we want to do is now we're going to have our function. So get random customer list. All right, cool. And then we've got the organization ID in here. Easy done. So much like this filtering in here, this is how we'll probably end up doing it. So we're just going to copy that. We're just going to paste it in for reference. And we're going to go filtered results. Filtered is good. Equals. And do you know what? I think we can just do this. So we've got project for project in projects. Okay. So we've got customer list. So I want to go customer for customer in customer list if hold on, I'm going to read this properly. We've got projects. Oh, yep. I think I get it now. And then for customer and custom list, if, and then we go customer dot, I'm going to do this, ID equals the organization ID. All right, and then I think we're going to randomize the list. So Python random shuffle. Is that really a thing? Well, one way to find out what we can do. A equals, let's say, apple, banana, yeah. Did they say shuffle? Oh, it's... Sorry. So it's part of random. Yeah, I'm getting nothing out of that. Alright, I'll tell you what, I'm going to copy paste. I've probably done something wrong. Hang on. Am I expecting it to... Hang on. Alright, there's the list at the moment. No, it's not doing anything. Alright. No, Yep. Alright, cool. Let's ignore W3 schools as we should have. Alright, this is a duplicate. Yeah, that's what we've got. Alright. Random shuffle. Let's not go there. Let's go here. Let's find out what I'm doing wrong. All right, so we don't need seed. What we need is shuffle. So random shuffle, sequence X in place. Shuffle is an immutable sequence and will return a new shuffle list. Use the sample instead. All right. Cool. So I'm just going to clear all of this. We're going to do let's do ML for my list. Let's do first, second, third, fourth, fifth. All right. So easy done. If we go random.shuffle ML and then the length of ML. Oh no, Okay. Shuffle an array with Python. An array of objects with Python. Yeah, I'm a little confused about this. All right. Object B. So that's what we'll essentially actually have. And then you got random.shuffle B and then outputs none. Yeah, random shuffle should work. Here's an example where the objects, all right. Import random, all right. Let's copy their code. Let's see what's actually happening. So we're importing shuffle, easy done. From here, we're creating an array of called X of 10 values inside it. So if we hit X, there we go. So this set up like that. All right, easy done. And then if we shuffle X, should shuffle X. And then when we print X, so what? Okay, let's test this out. So going back into this, so we should have filtered out what we need. And then what we're doing is we need to import random. So import random, or actually let's do it properly. From random import shuffle. Oops, I don't think I hit the correct thing then. And then, yeah, we've done the connection. And then in here, what we want to do is we want to shuffle filtered. And at the moment, I'm just going to print filtered. And then down here, we're just going to go get random customer list. We're just going to go 1. We're just going to do a couple of them like that, and we're just going to do that. So that's the data we've got. So that makes sense. So we got 732, 20. All right, so 770, 20, 21, 2. So that number should change. 58, 32, 64, 3, and 2. So the shuffle is working. I don't know why it didn't work in the terminal. I might be because I didn't have the things in as arrays within arrays. That's fine. So now we've got this. We don't need to actually send back all of them. So if I go in here, if length, if length is 1 or less, just return, because we don't need to do anything. If the length of the filtered is less than or equal to 1, we are going to return the filtered. Done. With the actually, I'm just wondering if we have a organization with 2 in there, do we want to actually just return both or just 1? I'm going to say just 1. All right. Now with random, we should be able to pick a number. Where's our random like this returns next floating point number between the range of this and this. So if we go into like here, random, let's say 1 and 1, it'll, hang on, how am I doing this properly between the and the? All right, uniform. Oh, we want a random integer though. I think it's random between. Yes. All right, Python. Actually, no, we've got this. In our faker documentation, we actually did all this. So if we actually go down to the creation of the project, so the projects get connection, index range with the project count, yada yada, adds in the projects. We're all happy with that. And then we go down here, we go, all right, cool, fetch all, enumerate with the results, random int. That's what we need. In fact, that's the group list, which is up above. In fact, I'm going to copy this line for reference because I know I need it. In here, what we're going to do is we're going to definitely shuffle. And then we are definitely going to use something like this. So we shuffle. And then we go return filtered, where we're going to return a this is not only going to get one position. Give me 2 seconds. Because, yeah, if memory serves me correctly, now if we just put X in there, and then what I want to do, so if I've got X and I go 0, no, socks. What? Come on, come on. Say hi to everyone. What I want to do is I want to grab the first X amount that is in there and stuff like that, and I keep forgetting how. I know I've done it. So for index with the results, we're going to grab a random in between there, and we're just going to insert. Oh, that's how we do it. We just go through a couple of times. Don't sit on the keyboard. All right. Python slice. We're ignoring W3 schools. Thought I had that. That sucks. No. Don't get angry. I will get angry. And it's like, no. Yeah, I thought that was... it might be because... whoops, group list. Is it something as silly? That's it. Alright, so yeah, that is what I want. I had something silly, I had group lists in there. So, what we want to do is we want to return the filtered, where we're going to grab the 0 and we're going to go the random.randint. I'm going to go 0, the length of the filtered. Now, because the length, that number will always be outside the starting index, or the final index's number and stuff like that, we need to do a -1. Then we just close that off. And then we shouldn't worry about that. And if we just go print this, oh, sorry. And I'm hitting keys, but I must be hitting the wrong keys. No demand at the moment. All right, now we do need something in here, so we do need this to be a 1, at least. Okay, we're always going to get something, which is nice. So that should be done. So I'm happy with that. So now we go down here and we get customer list equals, what was the thing? Get something. Absolutely forgot it already. Get random customer from list. There we go. We're going to place that in here. So we just need the ID, and that should be single project. And then we open it up and we go org, and then we close it off. So if we actually go and print this out, it'll print our results. So if we go print customer list, I'm going to break straight away. Hit enter. There we go. We've got our customer list and stuff like that. So from there, what I need to do is loop through that one. So for customer in customer list, I'm going to go single customer. And this is where we insert the record. So we're going to go SQL equals, and we're going to do use our big boy pants and use those triple quotes. We are also going to go over here. We're going to go browse. We're going to go object. Wrong one we're looking at. Object assignment. There we go. So if we were to open this and do an insert statement, insert into NearBeach object assignment, we can open up this and we can go values and we can open up that. And what we can do is we won't worry about object assignment. We've got meta object we don't need to worry about. Most of this we don't need to worry about. So we're going from left to right here. We're going to go date created and date modified. And if I should be able to actually close a bunch of these. Should be able to do that for MySQL. So we're just keying them in right now, like that. So date created, date modified is deleted. That's going to be an instance 0. Change user ID, we're going to put as 1. We're just going to key that in as a 1. And then that's almost it. We just need now the project ID and the customer ID. And the customer ID. And for this, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put in 4 stars like this. This just helps me find what I need. All right, so we've got that. we're going to go into the wrong place once again. We're going to go into here. We're going to do our big boy paste. So we've got our insert statement now. We've just got to key this in. Now, I'm just going to do this. And I'm just going to go single customer. No, this will be the project first. This will be single project ID. And then single customer ID. And if we just go print SQL, and we're just going to do a break. There's our value. There's what we're going to print, get to run in SQL. And because we're dealing with just IDs and stuff like that, we don't need to worry about quotes or anything like that. I'm happy with that. So the next sort of thing is we just need to... Now, usually... Oh, what did I do? You guys probably see on this particular line, we've got the cursor SQL. You won't see this. Give me 2 seconds. I'll move that over there and do that. We've actually got values and we're passing them through like that. I should be doing that. So I'm going to get rid of this F statement. I'm going to cut this one out. We're going to paste it into here. I'll fix this up in a second. We're going to cut this one out. I'm going to paste it into here. We are just going to do... I think %s will be perfectly fine. We won't need this one. So it should execute the SQL. We don't need to do any of that. So we've created the function, we've done the loop, we've created a new record. We don't need any of that bit of information. And then it should commit the changes. Fingers crossed. Nah, broke. I've done something silly. All right. Meta object title. Oh, all right. Hang on. What do you mean? Field meta object title. Oops. None of these actually. All right. There's a bunch of things I need to actually do. These need to be nullified. All right. No problem. We can do that right now. So insert into NearBeach. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring this out like this. Easy done. This is just so I can read it and make sure I'm changing the right things. Yeah, just making it more readable. Oops. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going, oops, we're going to make a big move there. We're just going to key that in like that. We're just going to do this. So we've added in 3 fields. We just need 3 nothings in them. That's it. And then field parent link doesn't have a default value. Oh, I've got to do all of this for all of... All right, I'm just double checking what parent link is. That should be at the very, very end. Yeah, parent link, that will be nothing. So we've just gone through all the projects. We should now be able to do a reload on this page, go down and see some customers. There we go. I think we added that one before. That's perfectly fine. What we can do is we can just pick a random project. And we'll go into customers. There's nothing there. All right. I think we screwed up somewhere. Let's see where we screwed up. So we've got the connection, we've got the single project and project list, we've got the customer and so forth like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy some of the print statements from in here. So we've got the this, we're just going to copy this. We're just going to go into here and I'm just going to move my leg. So set up the output. So we'll have the project index and it's just as simple as single projects ID. That's all. We'll have it like that. Then we'll have another one. Like that. And we'll see what's going on. So I'm just scrolling down a little bit. We should see... We're not getting anything. Oh, thank you very much. Yes, I still make a lot of mistakes though. So, you can see that happen in live. Yeah, and we're doing something dodgy. We're very, very quick. We're just essentially manipulating data. So I can use just Python for that. And yeah. And the idea is once I get the project done, I just move on to tasks and I can move on to anything else and get this done very, very quickly. Yeah. So in this sort of case, we've got the single project, the customer list, single project.org. With organization. And then I'm just going to go single project org like that. And I'm just going to, yes. So we're not getting anything. And why is that? It's going to create something above. This is just my test playground. So we're just going to put in 20 in there and we're going to hit enter. We've got nothing. All right. Now we're getting something. I still don't think that worked. Because 20 customer list is coming out as 0. This should be at least 1. Because if length is 2, it'll be 1. A random int to 1 to 1 is 1. So that will bring out the 2 records. Oh. Hang on a minute. Am I overriding this? I shouldn't be. All right, I'm going to hit that. Am I mutating data I shouldn't be mutating? So if I do that again, all right, that is working. It's working how we want it to. I am mutating data. So what's happening is I've got a customer list up here. This is so silly. And then I got a customer list here. Should not be doing that. So what I want to do is, instead of have customer list down here, I'm going to have add customers. All right, absolutely going to change it. We are going to copy this. We're going to paste this. We're going to paste this like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to search for customer list throughout the whole thing. So we've got customer list there. We've got customer list there. So get random customer list. Customer list. We've got customer list. Customer list. All right, cool. So yeah, something silly, very silly that I should not have been doing, but hey, we got there in the end. How many years of experience do I have? Oh, sorry, I didn't answer that question. A lot. It depends. I did math. Oh, that's terrible. Sorry, I can't write with my right hand. So I did math, where I learnt C and MATLAB and Maple. And then from there, I sort of learnt C++, worked at a university. I also learned Python to automate some of my job. I then decided to branch out and learn web development. That's been, oh God, how old is NearBeach? NearBeach is 8 years old, so it's pretty much 9 years. And yeah. So yeah, that started when I was, I think, 19. I'm super old now. Actually, no, that's the wrong way then. I'm now super old. My age. There we go. Smiley face. So, yeah. Alright, we should have added information in. So if I refresh this and I click on customers, there we go. Alright, sweet. We can copy and paste this for any other object, and we can do that very, very quickly too. So this is why I wanted to do it this way, because once we get this up and running, everything's just copy and paste. So we go into here, we're going to copy this, we're going to paste this down in here. Customers against task. We just need, instead of project, we need task list. So it's in project, we're going to use task. Task list. Actually, in fact, I'm going to get rid of this printing out statement because we just don't need it. Like that. That will be... Sorry, that should be single task. So we've got that. And then it'll be a single task, single customer. And we just need to drop in our data. So once again, we got our task list. I'm just going to keep that one up the top. I'm just going to do it like this. Equal. Going to do something like that. We're going to have it like that. We're going to go to our data. And once again, we're just going to run out that little query. It's going to be really, really simple. So I'm going to click on cancel. For that, I want to click on the NearBeach. Actually, yeah, I want to go away from here. We just want to select concat. We're going to do that from NearBeach task. I've just done it like that, just so I can do this very, very quickly. We're going to do that, and we're going to go task ID, then we're going to do that, and then we're going to go organization ID, and then we're going to do that. This time we're going to remember what we're going to actually do properly. So we're going to open up a mustache bracket. We're going to have an ID. We're going to have a little colon. We're going to have the task ID, and then we're going to have a comma followed by the org, followed by that and a colon. And then we're going to finish it off with a lovely mustache bracket, closing mustache bracket, and a comma. And we're just going to go. Didn't I do tasks? We've got requirements, projects. No, we have heaps of tasks. I'm just going to copy that. I've clicked on NearBeach. I was meant to click on fixtures. Sorry, I've clicked on NearBeach. It should be fixtures. I'm luckily going to copy and paste that, and then I'm just going to paste it in here. We're going to show all. It's fine. There's 500, I think. I'm just going to copy that data. We're going to go not over there. We're going to go over to here. We're going to paste that in. We are also going to scroll all the way down very, very quickly. We are going to paste that up, and we're going to search for concat. The reason being is I can just quickly delete these. Work smarter, not harder. You know? I don't want to go through every single one of these and be like, oh, where is it? All right, I think that's all done. So now what we can do, Shift Enter, we've done a problem. You know what we've done? We've inserted into project ID, that should be task ID. We have inserted some incorrect data then. However, I think it stopped and it didn't do much damage. So that should be perfectly fine. There's the records inserted. If we actually go over here and open up a random task now, we should go down, we should see customers. So yeah, let's go to another one. There we go. Let's go into a really random one. There we go. Let's... Are we not associating any objects? I might have mucked up. Not a problem. Okay, so we've got a bunch of ones, got a bunch of twos, and all the organizations and stuff like that. All right, cool. Not a problem. And then insert into object assignment, data created, blah, blah, blah. We've got the task ID and then we've got the customer ID. Did we just only insert it against one particular user? I don't know. Let's scroll back up here. Let's just make sure we've refreshed that and I haven't done anything silly again. Because we all know I do something silly constantly. Got add customers. Oh no, single customer, yes, single customer, yep, that's fine. Okay. I have done something silly. So, I'm just going to run it again. It did say it inserted a bunch of stuff. Let's actually go into the database. Let's actually see what I've done. So I'm going to click on fixtures. I'm going to search for object assignment. And what we're going to do is we're going to search for the latest ones. So we're going to go up to 500. We're going to sort by, we're actually going to sort by key. Oh, we've just hit another ad break on Twitch. All right, cool. Oh, there we go. Sorry. For those on YouTube, we run ads every half an hour on Twitch so people don't get pre-rolled ads because they suck. They really do suck. In the meantime, we actually tend to do this. Yeah. Hopefully you guys go well. Hopefully you guys are going okay. We are also joined by Socks. She's down there. She's actually behaving right at the moment. She wasn't before. She wouldn't want to come inside. So yeah. She's been very horny. Very angry. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully everyone's going well. We are slowly getting through this, which is nice. I'm hoping to essentially get this done for the requirements also. And then I'll probably create the fixture from there. We might need to rerun it. Like I might need to delete the database and reinsert stuff and do all of that, which is fine. We can do that. Just so I get the data correct, which I have a feeling I've screwed up somewhere. So hopefully not. Also, I'm just wondering, I think that amount of data should be perfectly fine in there. Yeah. Anyway, how are we going? And welcome back, everyone. So we are going to find the sort order on this again. We're going to click on the date created. Do it the other way. So the 8th, here we go. Object assignment ID. I don't know why those two are up here. Actually, let's... That would be a better way to do it. So we've got the deleted with 0. We should have a task ID and customer ID is just 20. All right, we've broken something here. This is... I've broken something. All right. So we've gone down. These should all be tasks. Because if I remember correctly, with the faker, we only had 100 projects and we had 400 tasks. Yeah, we definitely, yeah. All right. So loop through the tasks. So we've got the task lists. What we're doing is we're getting the customers, and what I want to do, I'm just going to print out add customers. I'm just going to see what happens. Why are we sticking on... because we actually, yeah, all the groups are... So in here, you'll notice that, yeah, we've got a bunch of groups all in the row. But yeah, that should have added some variety. So we've got customer... Oh, have I... Single customer. I've put ID. That's meant to be cuss. So I've done the same mistake with projects too. So yeah, we're going to have to actually purge the data and redo it. But not a problem. We're halfway there. This is a lot better than doing it manually. Let's just say that. So now that I've done that, so we've done the project count, we've done the task count. We'll just need to do the requirements. Requirement items we don't need to do, and the Kanban card can, that's fine. So what I'm going to do, so I'm going to scroll all the way down to the last set of code. I'm going to remove that print statement. It's the way we print stuff out sometimes. I'm just going to just copy that. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to do that. I know I'm going to actually delete the data in a minute. So down here, what we want to do is scroll up, we just want to copy this. It's not going to be task list. It is going to be requirement list. Insert customers against requirement. Easy done. We just need to replace task list in here. We need to put in. So that will be a single requirement in. All right. Easy done. Add customers, random customer. That will be a single requirement. So in the add customers, so insert instead of task ID, we'll have requirement ID. Easy done. We'll go through, single task will be the ID, single customer will be the cust. All right, that should work perfectly fine. We just need the requirement list. We go back into the database. Once again, this is pretty easy to do. We just shuffle this over here. We go edit inline. We just go select concat. We're then going to go requirement ID, organization ID. Ooh. I just remembered requirements. They don't have organizations, do they? Oh no, they do. No, I'm thinking of something else. Don't worry. Oh, I designed this system and I keep forgetting how I did it. Joys have been me. From NearBeach requirements. So what we want to do is we'll have an open mustache bracket followed by ID colon, all of that fun stuff, followed by a comma, followed by an org, and that again, and then we're just going to go close that, and we're just going to go. I'm going to show all. There's not many at all. We're just going to take all of this, just simple copy. We're going to go over here, we're going to paste it in. We don't need to worry too much about this. We just hit this in, and then if we go shift enter, cannot update child row, a foreign key restraint failed, fixture, delete constraints, foreign key requirement ID references NearBeach requirement. It's because I got single task in there. I missed this. All right, cool. So now that we're happy, what I'm going to do is over here is I'm going to edit inline. We're just going to do this. We're actually going to copy this, and actually I'm going to copy the whole thing a couple of times and do something like this. Up the top, we're going to have project and task and a requirement. We're going to copy that. We're going to save that in a safe spot. We're going to put it in here. In fact, we're doing that. Everyone's happy. I'm going to destroy the database. So I'm going to go into localhost. I'm going to go cancel all that. I'm just going to go home. I'm going to get out of there. I'm going to go databases. You know what? I'm going to, it shouldn't be doing that, but you know, fixture. We can easily recreate it, create. Okay, cool. What I want to do now is I want to exit this Python. I want to go Python 3 and manage and migrate. So we're now inserting the data back into the database. Now, in reality, I can, because we created a fixture before of all the data, we can just reinsert it. However, I think that's a smart idea. Try to think. So we did create all the data. We just we dumped it into the system. We didn't think about it. We just wanted to see the size. I think, yeah, let's do that, because then I just need to run these queries again, because the data should be exactly the same as before. So we need to go Python 3 manage load data. Are we loading it from NearBeach fixtures? And we're going to do it with the GDPR setup. This will take a little while to do, because there's 2,964 objects in there. That's a lot. So if we go back into this data now and I click on fixtures, we should see all of this. That's perfectly fine. If we actually go into here and refresh, we're lucky because we've got the same sort of credentials still and all that kind of fun stuff. But you'll see the customers don't exist. That's where we go back over into here and we scroll all the way to the top. And we're just going to do it from the top. We're just going to go, yep, that's fine. Yep, that's fine. All right, we'll get a random list. Easy done. We're going to do that. That worked perfectly fine. We're going to do this one. The record's inserted pretty quickly. We're going to do that one. And now we should have customers. So if I refresh, we should have enough customers in here. We can click on this. We've got enough sort of customers in here and stuff like that to do this particular testing that we want. Sorry, we've got enough sort of data in here for us to do the unit testing for the GDPR wizard now. I'm trying to think we need to also do this with the users, but that's pretty easy to do. It's pretty much the same sort of structure. So what I mean is, if we go down here, we've got a bunch of groups against all of this. And what we could potentially do is so there's a couple of things I want to do. So I want to have it so a number of projects are created by certain users. And I want another one where it looks at users being assigned to projects and stuff like that. Now, before we move forward, we're going to do the smart thing that we did before by accident because we're testing something else, but it actually saved us a lot of time. We're going to go Python 3 manage dump data. We're going to indent by 2. We're going to have the format JSON, and we're going to put it in our NearBeach fixtures, and we're going to override the GDPR setup. So that's done. If we actually have a look now, it's 2.8 megabytes. At the moment, that's fine. I know it's going to get bigger. This isn't compressed either, so we know it's going to be a bit larger than usual. Now, I thought I had an ad break. Oh no, I did the ad break. All right, yep. Cool. So, what we want to do is I'm going to focus on adding users to the projects first, because I'll need another list. Okay, that's not a problem. So I'll need a project list with groups assigned to them, not a problem. And then I need a group with user ratio, not a problem. We know how to do this. So let's set this up very, very quickly. I'm going to do I'm going to do the group to user list first. So concat will have the group ID, and then we'll have the user ID, I think. I'll come back to that one. from NearBeach user group. Now this is assuming we've already done this. All right, cool. That's not a problem. So we'll have group ID and user ID, I think. Actually, I tell you what, when you can't think of what's in there, you just do this. You go. You can select the top one, but in this sort of case, this is perfectly fine. I knew this was going to be a small one. We've got the user group ID. And then we've got the group ID. So, going to have concat. Going to do this. We're going to open our lovely little brackets. We're going to do a double quotation, and we're going to go group ID. We're going to close. No, we're not going to close that. We are going to go group ID that. Then we're going to go group ID, and then we're going to do a comma. We're going to do more quotation marks, another thingy like that. We'll have the user ID. It's username ID. I'll just have you. No, a username ID. We'll have it like that. We'll be consistent. Then we'll have it like that, and then we'll have the username ID. And then we'll end our mustache bracket and a comma. And I am going to hit that and that. So we've got the group ID. All right, cool. So those are our groups. So we want to open up our this. We're going to scroll all the way up to the top. We are after the customer one. We're fine with that. So we're going to declare our group list in here. So this will be called the group list equals all of these. And then def get random user list. And we're going to have a group ID pass through. And then we're going to do the same thing. So filtered equals, and then we'll have the user for user in group list if user group ID equals the same as the group ID that's coming through. Easy done. If length is 1 or less, just return. If the length of the filtered is less or equal to 1, we're just going to return the filtered. We're happy with that. And then we're going to shuffle the filtered. And then we're going to return the, essentially it's just going to be this one line up here. It's the same code. And what we're going to do is we're going to run a couple of tests. So I want to get random user list. We're going to say it's going to be group ID 1. Oops. We're going to break 1. We're going to put a 2 in there. We're also going to put a couple of 3s in there. And we're going to play that. All right, I don't know. I should have had print at the start, shouldn't I? Because it's actually printed out. Yep. Sorry about this. All right, sweet. So it doesn't break. It gets our results and they're random enough. Yeah. Once again, this is quick and dirty. We don't need this to be perfect. Now, this is assign customers to objects. The reason why I've made those noises and stuff like that, I'm like, I need to sort of have these sheets spread out so that they make sense. So this will be assign users to objects. That's why. That's why I made the noise. All right. Gonna do that. We just declared that. Now the best thing is we could potentially just nick one of these bits of code again, because it's going to be the same, pretty much the same sort of structure. So this would be assign users to projects. Easy done. We'll have a project list in here. We're going to paste this in. So we're going to get rid of that comment. We've got the connection, either the connection, loop to the project, single project, less single project. We're just going to keep that bit of information in. No, screw it. We don't need it. We don't need the customer. So it won't be that. It'll actually be that. And it'll be the single project, and then we'll just have group in there. All right, easy done. Then it'll be, actually it won't be single user, it'll be called add users. We'll have single user. And it's the same sort of table, except we'll have, double check what the field is actually called. I'm just going to open up fixture. I can't open up that fixture. I'm just going to duplicate this tab. It's going to be 10 times easier if I just duplicate it. And then object assignment. I'm just going to click on that. It's going to load up a few things. Assigned user ID. There you go. It's best to double check this. I've made enough mistakes tonight. Assigned user ID, and then it will be, once again, it'll be the single user, and that will be the user. We'll just keep that in, actually that'll be username ID, thank you very much. And we can actually do this. Don't see why not. That should carry on to the other ones very, very easily because we've got the single user ID, we've got the group ID. Actually, no, we need the project ID for this. And I think that's just going to be ID. We're going to have the same sort of structure as before. So we just need the data now. So I'm just going to save that. I'm going to go back over here. We're going to edit in line. We're just going to go over it like that. Actually, no, I am going to copy that. And much like before, I'm going to actually have it commented down here. So later on, I know it's just reference material. All right, going back into here. So concatenate, in this sort of case, it'll be ID and it'll be project ID. And then it'll be, it'll be group, it'll be, yeah, we're going to go with group. And that will be group ID. Now, this is actually from the NearBeach object assignment table, and now we actually have some where clauses. So where 1 equals 1 and not project ID is null. Now I think that's how it's done in MySQL. I could be very wrong. Okay. And not group ID is null. About 50% sure that's right. Yeah, all right. Oh, group ID in field list. All right. This is where I go back over here, and there's the object assignment. Group ID. That is something we will be fixing up with 0.32. Okay. No longer that. I've got to do it up here too. Oh, hey there, buddy. don't run away. Come here. Yeah. Come on, buddy. Oh yeah, give him those pats. All right. Oop, sorry, buddy. No, I can't pick you up like that. Come here. Come here. Sorry, I'm trying to get my Patty to appear on stream. Come on, buddy. He's not heavy, he's just... It's awkward. Anyway, everyone say hi to Patty. He's all settled in. So, yeah. Socks is not happy. Yeah, there, Patty. Alright. I don't know if you guys heard him do his little trumpet noise, but he's going around going... Burp, burp. So, yeah. Alright, so we've got a bunch of connections. Oh no, that's right. 92, no. Alright, cool. I was a bit worried for a second, but no. I was just having a brain fart. But yeah, this is correct. So, gonna copy that. Gonna go over... I don't know what that was about. I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna paste it. Once again, we're going to go down here. We're making sure we click on that. We're just going to go scrolling all the way up. We're going to tabulate that in. We're also going to find concat. And we're going to get rid of it. Ooh, didn't mean that. All right. So, double checking everything. Going through assigned user ID, usernames, the groups, the group. Yep. All right. In theory, this should work. Looks like it did. All right, let's do the same thing with tasks. So we're just going to copy that. We're going to go down here and then assign users to task, and we've got our task list equals, and we'll fill that out in a minute. But first, let's get this correct. So we're going to make sure that we don't have project in here. We're going to go task list. We're going to go single task. We're going to make sure that's a task. Get random users, add users. Now down here, we'll need this to be a task ID because we don't want a project ID. And we'll need this to be single task. And then we're just going to search for project in this one block. And so we need single task. All right, and done. So going back to our database. We're going to edit this. We're going to have... We're actually going to nick this one once again. We're actually going to do this. There's a specific reason why. It's so I can put these all on one line. And so pop at that. So going back over to here, we're going to go task ID, group ID is fine, NearBeach object assignment where task ID is not null and the group ID is perfectly fine. We're going to go save, we're going to click and we're going to show that actually there is I thought there was an ability to show all before. And I know there will be an ad break very shortly. I swear to you, I clicked on it before and it gave... might be because I'm in browse. I need the SQL. All right, we have multiple pages of this. So there'll be 400, depending how many groups we're actually got, it could be maybe a couple of pages. But that's fine. We'll work with it. All right, easy done. I'm not fussed. We'll go into here. We'll go the next page, which is the last page. All right, cool. So yeah, we do need to copy all of this. We'll go into assigned users. We'll paste that in. We'll scroll all the way back down. All right, cool. We'll scroll all the way back up. Keep going, keep going. All right, sweet. And then we'll do that. And then we'll go concat from here. We'll delete this one. He's done. All right. Cool. And I'm going to paste that little query into here for reference later. Man, there's a lot of data in here. Let's just copy this. Let's go into here. Let's paste it in. We're just going to hit save. Now, double checking everything. Oh, yeah, we kind of did. We're like, all right, cool. It should work. No, it didn't. All right. Single task is a spelling mistake. There we go, done, easy done. All right, checking ads. Oh, I am terribly sorry, Twitch users. It didn't tell me when the ads were running. I don't know if we're in ads right now or not. Right, I'm just going to check the stream. We haven't dropped out. It's saying it's still running. I can see the video feedback, which is good. But yeah, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I do apologize about that. That is annoying. I also don't know if chat is running correctly. So I'm just going to do a test. And then I'm going to do another test over here. All right. Cool. Not a problem. I think Nightbot's not running tonight because I haven't seen Nightbot in a while. All right, there it is. All right, I'll get back to this. So we've just run that. I'm happy with it. We're just going, I've done it twice. Oops. Not a problem. I can wipe the data and rerun this. That's perfectly fine. What I wanted to actually do is insert another row. That's my bad. That's a silly mistake. So I'm just going to copy this. We're going to paste this in to here and we're going to go add users to requirement. Easy done. We've got requirement list equals, once again, we'll make that up very, very quickly. So in here, we've got requirement list. We're going to search for the word task. We're going to have a single requirement. And that will be a requirement ID. And that will be a single requirement. And that should be fine. Easy done. We jump over here. We edit this. So instead of task ID, we have requirement ID. Where the requirement ID is not null. We'll just go. Now, that took a couple of seconds to run. I'm just going to put this over in here. Oops. Press the wrong key. He's done. We're shoving that one into there. We're going to hit save. We're going to go back into our database. We're going to be like, all right, there's... Only 25 showing, so we're going to go 500. We don't have that many requirements, not as many as tasks, and that's perfectly fine. All right. So we're going to jump up into here. We're going to paste this in. We're going to go up here. We're going to hit the tab. We're going to hit that, and that should have inserted rather well. So we're in our requirement information right now. If I hit refresh, boom, we've got a bunch of users in there. All right, cool. If we actually go to NearBeach, you know, we've got a bunch of requirements that I've been added to, projects and all that kind of stuff. So we've got a lot of data in here, which is awesome. And we don't have any unassigned objects. So yeah, now we're going to be looking at the dashboard and actually implementing newer sort of functionality in it with 0.32. If you guys want, feel free to join the Discord and join that conversation. So yeah, and I'm hoping Nightbot on YouTube works. There it go. Took its time. So that should all be connected. Now the one problem is I've run the task one twice. So if we actually go to tasks, it's not going to show the users twice, but there might not be a bigger mix. And however, that being said, this one's perfectly fine. I mean, it won't take too long to rerun everything. We've made a mistake. That's perfectly fine. It happens. So what we'll do is we will fix it up. So I want to go into the tables. I want to go databases. I want to drop the fixtures. Easy done. Then we're just going to create the table fixture. That's created. We want to go over into here. We want to go Python 3 manage migrate. This won't take too long. Famous last words, of course. All right, the next thing we want to do, Python 3 manage, and then we want to load our data. So load data, we want to go into the NearBeach fixtures, and then we're just out of the GDB setup. Now, remember, there's nearly 3,000 objects in here. Sorry, 4,000 objects in here. It just took a little bit, but not a problem. Now we're actually ready. So if we actually hit refresh, we should actually have a lot of data in here. So if we go into the fixtures, boom, there's a lot of data. And if we, not the bug table, if we go into the requirement table, boom. Now, what we want to do is we want to go over here and we're going to go from the top down again. And this data will be the exact same as before. And we're just going to go like this. And it's done. So if we go into here and we hit refresh, boom. All right. I'm happy with that. We should see users against staff, and yeah, we've got customers against stuff now. So the database looks like it's being used. Now that we know it's being used and stuff like that, we will sort of start creating the, we'll create this fixed, sorry, don't worry, that's my leg. We'll start creating the fixtures. And yeah, well, I just need to start looking at the fixtures, being like, all right, cool. If I delete this particular user, what's going to happen? And that's part on me, where I've got to go through and do, it's not really data analysis or anything like that, but go through and figure out what's going to happen, who's going to move around and so forth like that. What changes are going to be implemented so I can test against it and make sure that all of these particular objects will not be deleted by mistake, so that they still do exist. Yeah, so the last thing we want to actually happen is, for example, you might delete a user and then it just deletes all the objects that that user created. We don't want that. So yeah, we know the number of objects. So what we can do is we can remove the user and double check that none of the objects have been removed. And then we double checked those particular objects that we know were connected to that user and make sure that they've been updated to the default user, which is usually the admin, the first one in the rows. So with that in mind, let's solidify the fixture. So we want to go Python 3 and manage dump data, and then we want to indent of 2. We want the format to be JSON, and we want that to be in NearBeach fixtures, NearBeach GDPR. And if we see the size of it, 3.4 megabytes. I'm happy with that. Now I know this will get a little bit bigger because there is one key area I haven't actually implemented, and that's the sprints. We do need to actually cover the sprints. However, from what we've been doing today, it's pretty much the same sort of thing. Creating sprints, it won't be that hard to do. We won't actually add a sprint to every single project or anything like that. We'll probably add it to half a dozen, or maybe a bit more, maybe 30 projects and stuff like that. And then we've got to insert data against that too and stuff like that. But from what you guys have seen tonight, that's easy for us to do. We'll just do that in this and be like, all right, cool. We know how these connections work. We'll just apply those connections same way we do that here. Yeah, not a problem. All right, now I am just gonna check one quick thing. All right. Give me a couple of seconds. All right. Yeah. So I'm just planning stuff. All right. So we've got all of this done. I'm happy how this is set up. Yeah, once again, we're just going to do the sprints. We don't need to worry about my planner or the scheduled objects or anything like that. We will be filling this data out. Hopefully sometimes it's a manual sort of test. We've got the list customers. Yeah, we'll need to put that as a bug issue. Yeah. There's so much UI UX I need to actually fix up in NearBeach. Do list organizations. Yeah, pagination hasn't been done for the organizations. We'll implement that soon. All right. Okay. Yeah, I know what to do now. Okay. So, going back with the blog post. Sorry, we're going back to the start of the stream and finishing it off, bookending, however you want to say it. So, sadly, we were not able to do the GDPR wizard because we didn't create the fixtures. So tonight we actually did that. So we did that. We now need to do the unit tests around that. So that shouldn't be too hard. We've got a bit of CRUD. So what we'll do is, yeah, we'll just test the CRUD, make sure that it only deletes what we need it to delete, like that. The connection to the GDPR wizard in the navbar menu. Oh yeah, that's pretty easy to do. So once I finish with the unit tests, it's just me plugging it in. The GDPR wizard is actually there. People can use it if you know it's there. We're just saying at the moment it's not tested. We're a little worried if you do just use it. You might experience some issues. Always back up your data when using this particular tool. So, as we've been working on unit tests for NearBeach, we noticed we need a more fixture data for the GDPR wizard, which we've just done tonight. The data will be ensure the robustness of the new wizard. Yeah. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm probably going to have to call it here tonight. It is 9. I'm once again getting back into streaming. So yeah, I know who I want to raid. So I am just going to do that right now. Oh, I better make sure that they're English. Oh yeah, they're Australia. So yeah. Anyway, thank you very much everyone for coming tonight. It has been wonderful. Yeah, I just got to get back into the flow of things with streaming. I'm hoping over the next couple of weeks I will have a more set routine like I used to. And yeah, anyway, thank you very much. And I shall see you next stream. And for those on YouTube, thank you for being here. Sadly, you won't be able to join the raid, but don't forget to like and subscribe. So yeah, thank you.